everyone, it's Billy Hell, and I am sitting in the Billy Hell studio surrounded by all my guitars and amps. And I wanted to share something unique. I always say I like weirdo guitars, but then I feel bad about calling a guitar a weirdo. So I'm going to call this unique. And what you're looking at is the Griffin by Veillette. Veillette is a guitar luthier who handmade all of these things until recently when he decided that $4,000 or $5,000 a pop might be too expensive for Johnny Average guitar picker. And he, I guess he found himself a factory in Korea and started, I don't know if mass producing is the right word, but they are certainly a lot cheaper now. And I was watching YouTube, drinking coffee, and Buddy Miller was in his studio, and he was talking about a secret weapon, and he pulled this thing out. And so sometimes things like that appeal to me, and I just couldn't stop thinking about this thing. And I was driving down the road in Nashville, Tennessee, where I live, and I drove by Gryphon Guitar, and I thought, you know, I know that that's the only place in town that carries these, at least at this point in time. I should probably go in there, but it's always dangerous to do things like that. But I did it, and here we are right now with it in my arms. Let me talk to you about why this kind of came about. So, as you can probably see behind me, I play a lot of electric guitars, but in the last year or so, I went back to my roots of acoustic and fast strumming and stuff like that. I don't know if this thing's in tune. This is a 9-string Alvarez that I found in a closet. So the short story on the 9-string, it's just a 12-string minus 3 top strings. And the story I got is that Waylon used to string them this way because he felt like the 12-string was too sweet. Oh yeah, it's out of tune. I'm sorry. I should have tuned that beforehand. And so I play this a lot, and when I try to revert back to a 6-string when I'm playing alt country or Texas music or something like that, I always come back to this young lady. A pickup helps. She certainly is pretty loud, but I love to plug in and then just get the volume up to the point where it's slightly louder than the acoustic and then blend the natural sound with the pickup sound. So obviously I was into a weirdo 9-string Alvarez, and when I saw this, I was like, oh, this has got my name all over it. So your question is, what am I looking at? You're looking at a 12-string. Of course, it's small. And imagine if you took a 12-string and sawed it off at the 10th fret. That is what we're dealing with here. So that leads me, hold on, I'll give you this. Just so what we're going to do here is talk about this, talk about why it is such an awesome little guitar. And anyway. So I go into Gryphon and I see they have like 6 on the wall, and I pick one up, and you know how you think you're going to love something, but you get there and it's a little dull or flat or hard to play, or the neck is this or that. And I played this thing and it was better than I could have hoped for, acoustically and or sonically, as well as the way it played. So that brings me to my first attempt to find something like this. And this is a gold tone. We'll find out how well these guitar straps work, won't we? This is a gold tone 6-string Mando. And I love the shape, I love the design, I love Gold Tone. Gold Tone makes awesome, cool instruments, and I'm always on their site looking to see if there's anything I might need up there. And so this is a 6-string Mando. And the thing about this neck is it's not too skinny, it's a little skinny. But the frets are a little tight for me, so I'm always, you know, coming from a full scale guitar, I'm always a little bit off the fret, and I'm always, I'll get it right, and then I'll hit the one wrong, and then I'm like, ugh. cool, but I kept running into roadblocks, and I found I wasn't playing it very often. And when the Griffin showed up, I thought, well, let me go try this. Because what I like to do is play along with old-timey music, and sometimes some bluegrass, and sometimes just some good alt-country stuff, and just try to lay in the mix. And so the thing about this young lady, there's a couple of things you need to be aware of. Let's say you're like, it's over, I'm going to go buy it. Don't leave yet, because I got to tell you a couple of things. The first thing is, up on this no capo playing here, it's just beautiful. And of course, like any guitar, you can choke up and get kind of banjo-ish. Maybe not on this thing, maybe more of a... too piercing or too brash, you can move up on that neck and mellow it out. And then the thing that people come in here and I'm like, hey, play that. And then they play it and I'm like, play it hard. When you play this thing hard, a lot of instruments, if you play them hard, they will, the sound blows apart. It just sometimes doesn't work. But this thing played hard sounds awesome. Acoustically, I couldn't ask for any more, but when you get to short scaled like this, the problem is getting up the neck. Sometimes these little foreign instruments, when you get up the neck, they don't like it. So, where'd it go? There's Capo around here somewhere. 1 second. Here it is. If you get this, you've got to get a good capo, and by good, I mean not a spring-loaded capo, but a capo that you can adjust. This is a Johnny Cash capo made by Duncan. And so I went to a party during Christmas and I wanted to play this and not be the 5th guitar in the room, you know. And so you need a pretty long capo because it needs to get all the way over the neck. Otherwise, this high E is not going to sound right. So this Duncan Johnny Cash capo is doing it for me at this date. I'm a little high up. I'm going to get a little closer to the fret here. And so what I did is I capoed this thing to the 2nd fret, which means it's at the 12th fret of a guitar and gets me back to standard. It's tuned to D, by the way. And this would allow me to sit in the room and play with all these other people without transposing chords in my head, which I can't do. Because I tried to do that at Thanksgiving and realized that ain't happening. So you can go here. She doesn't mind that you're on the 2nd fret. And so when I'm playing with music, I will look and see, you know, you can play a song, open, 2nd fret, 3rd, whatever the song likes. And some songs would rather have you at the 5th fret on a guitar than open. And so sometimes I do that. So let's move this up to the 5th fret. Which on a normal guitar would be, what would that be? Holy crap. You got to do the math. I believe it's +2 on anything. So let's hear it on the 5th. So the point here is it's not fretting out, it's still singing out loud, and you're on the 5th fret, which is pretty high up because you don't have much more to go. When you get pretty high up here, the voice gets super high too, which works with some songs, not so much with others. I'm going higher than I probably have ever gone before, so let's see what we get here. we just went up the 7th fret, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just seemed a little unreal that we're that high. Still has clarity, and I can still move my fingers around, a tribute to that wide fretboard right there. So, I mean, what more can I ask? By the way, I just want to mention that it comes with onboard pickup, and it has a volume control in here and a kind of a tone control, which you need. I feel like sometimes I'm always too bright, so I'm always rolling back on that. It's got an N-pin jack, right? Am I wrong? Here's a battery port and then an N-pin jack. And it certainly, I feel like, needs a strap because you can't just put it on your knee and play it. It's got to get up a little bit. But, man, if anything in the video, if you're like, oh, that's very interesting, go find one somewhere and go play it because I think you'll be blown away. The Veillette Griffin. In Nashville, you can get a Gryphon guitar. While you're there, ask for a Billy Howell guitar strap because there's a few hanging out or hanging up out there. Like I got 2 of those right here behind my shoulder. I love it. Oh, there's one more thing. All right, we're not done yet. Hey, if this video's been of any value to you, you've enjoyed it or whatever, hit the like button and hit subscribe. I would like to keep doing these videos and getting more people if they want to see it. See, I'm going to show you the case because the case is a little bit of a mind blower. It says a lot about the guitar too. So I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the case. It is a serious case. Veillette was not fooling around with this thing. We'll get the light on it so you can see it. But, you know, it's cut to fit the instrument. We'll put the instrument in here. And then it has this huge pocket right here, which is at the bottom of your frame. But a big pocket you could put, like, I don't know, probably a couple of beers in there if you needed to. And this is a most serious case. Maybe, I think, too big. Can I get that on a carry-on? And an overhead? I could if it was empty, I reckon. And then one more thing, Avante or Veillette also makes. Now this is the Griffin. But like the case says, it's also called an Avante. So I've seen it multiple ways. Griffin is the easiest way to find it. It might also be the Avante Griffin by Veillette. So there's a couple of ways to look for it. They also make strings for this guy. So I can imagine that we could find strings on our own, but I'm sure these are made exactly for the instrument and something you can get. So if you're in Nashville, go to Gryphon and check it out. So when I went in, once again, I picked it up, played it, and realized I had a serious problem on my hands. And thanks to Buddy Miller. Thank you, Buddy Miller. And when I came back to drop off some guitar straps, I said, hey, I am playing the little Griffin like daily, which I was. And he said after I came in, Corey said that Keith Urban came in and bought one. And then after Keith bought one, he said now he's just selling them left and right. So Keith must be spreading the word too. So this is becoming some sort of a thing here in town. So see if it's your thing. You might love it. I certainly do. Hey, I'm Billy Hell. Hit subscribe. I don't know. I'm just a channel that shares stuff that I think is cool. All right, y'all. Have a great day.